Hello, this is square 6 of our crochet sampler blanket and it's called Crochet Cable. Here's a finished one. And it's quite nice, isn't it? Okay, put that to one side. Now this will be quite a quick video because the repeat is very short and we just do the same 2 rows 5 times, I think it is. Hang on a second. 10 times. So it is very repetitive. The difficulty with this one is not the pattern, but where we put the cable stitch. So I'll try and show you the best I can on here. So I've started with a chain of 35. Then I've gone back in on row 2 and it asks us, row 1 asks us a single crochet in the second chain from the hook and in each chain across with 34 single crochet, which I've got there, which suddenly looks a bit bigger than that. Okay, right, so I'm going to start with a chain 3 and this always acts as the first double crochet, so we always skip this first one here. Then it asks us to skip a single crochet, which is that one there. And then we do 3 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Now what it asks us to do then, and this is the difficult bit, is we have to and we always work front to back, so we're always poking that way regardless of where we're actually going. What it asks us to do is to go into this chevron here, and that's where we're aiming to go. So we're not going into the hole, we're going into the chevrons and we're going this way. So what I do is wrap as normal and then I just take it backwards, poke it through, catch the yarn and pull it through. We've still got 3 stitches on our hook and then we have to stretch it back to where it started and then just treat it as another double crochet, and that gives us that stripe across the front, which is quite effective. Now the other really important thing here is we skip the next stitch. Now I kept trying to skip that stitch there, but actually, can you see that's already used? So that stitch there is part of that repeat. That is the stitch that we're supposed to skip. Whether you can see that, I'll just make sure. So this stitch here has already been used. You can see it being dragged across up there. That is the stitch we skip. This is where we start again. And so the repeat is very short. So we skip that stitch there and we start our 3 double crochet again over the next 3 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3. And again we're going to go backwards and we're going to be doing a double crochet into that stitch there. So we wrap, poke through, catch the yarn and pull it through and stretch it across. If you have a looser stitch or a looser tension, you might find this a little bit easier. So people who tend to crochet tight will struggle. So there's our pattern emerging, and it's I think it's quite a pretty one. I quite like this. I think sometimes persevere with it because you will get it in the end. This poking through is getting the hang of it's quite difficult. So again, that's not the stitch I'm skipping because our repeat starts again. That is the stitch that I'm skipping, and I'm going to start my 3 double crochet in that one there. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to wrap and I'm sorry, before I do that I'll just show you. So this is the stitch we're going back into. I hope you can see that from all angles. And remember, we're not going into the hole, we're going under the chevrons as you would normally. So we wrap and I'm aiming for under the chevrons of that one there, catching, so just catching and pulling it through the work and letting it stretch across to give us our stripe across the front. and then I treat it as a normal double crochet by taking off 2 and then taking off 2. And I think just remember stretching it, you know, making sure that long stitch stretches out, gives it a flatter finish, because if it's that tight, it crunches the stitch up. So let's remember that stitch has already been used. See, that's dragged up there. That is the stitch that we are skipping. And that is where we start our, oh sorry, I've just lost that a bit. Sorry, that's the stitch that's already been used. That is the stitch we're skipping, and this is where we start. So 1, 2, 3. I wrap, and I'm heading for this stitch. I go back in, front to back. I catch the yarn, pull it through, and I stretch it across nice and loose, and then I treat it like a normal double crochet. Take off 2, take off 2, and so the pattern. Now you only need to have 8 cable stitches, so 1, 2, 3, 4, so you don't have more than, just so you make sure you get your count right. There's only 8 of those going across. Okay, so that's the stitch that's already been used. That's the stitch I'm skipping. This is the stitch where I start my 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and that's where I'm aiming for, not the hole. So I'm poking it through, I catch the yarn, pull it through. I've still got 3 stitches on my hook, and then I stretch it and treat it like a normal double crochet. Take off 2, take off 2. So that's the stitch that's already used. That's the stitch I'm skipping, and this is where I start my 3 double crochet over the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, excuse me, 3. And just a reminder, that is where I'm aiming to go, front to back. Hopefully you can see that. And I wrap. And if you notice, I'm kind of turning the work a bit, so you can turn it. The main thing is to go front to back and keeping everything flat. Can you see everything's on the flat? And then we treat it like a normal double crochet. Take off 2, take off 2. That's the stitch that I've already used. That's the stitch I'm skipping. And that's the stitch I'm going to start my 3 double crochet over the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3. That's the double crochet that the chevron that I'm aiming for, not the hole. I wrap, I poke into my chevron to that skipped stitch, drag across, treat it like a normal double crochet. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. That's the stitch I've worked on. That's the stitch I'm skipping. And this is where I start my 3 double crochet over the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3. And there's the chevron that I'm aiming for. I wrap, poke it into the chevrons front to back. I catch it and just slowly pull it through. 3 stitches on my hook, drag it across so it lays nice and flat. Take off 2, take off 2. It leaves me with 1 chevron, 1 stitch left, and I'm just going to do a double crochet in that. And that's our 8 cable stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, round 2, I beg your pardon, this is round 3, and I've done 1 chain, and I'm going to single crochet into each stitch across, giving us 34 stitches. I won't do that because I'm sure that will be fine for you. And then it's repeat. So you've got your 34 stitches once you've done your single crochet row, and then you just work your way up. As you can see, I think this is a pretty effective one and I quite like this. I didn't think I would, but I have really enjoyed doing this. Once you get to grips with where to poke the hook, it's not too bad at all. Good luck with it, and I'll see you next time.